What's going on, Atlanta Falcons fans, NFL fans, all around the world, sports fans? Like to give everybody a a day's greeting. Hope all is well with you guys. Continued blessings, all of that, all the pleasantries that you can possibly think of. Yeah, today is that day. As Mad Mike and everybody around the world, the crew, Wandrea, what's going on? How you doing, sis? Today's gonna be a very good day. It's gonna be a very good day because we like to talk about things. We like to address the uncomfortable conversations. We like to talk about the uncomfortable conversations. So this live show, and this is exactly what we do. I don't run and duck and hide from conversations. And I like to be honest with everybody, and those who watch the show. Answer every question that we presented. Like to be honest. Huh? I can't speak for everybody else, but don't you guys like honesty? Like, who doesn't like honesty? Who doesn't like truth? Who doesn't like honesty? All right, so got a number of topics. Got to make a slight change to the title a bit, but the conversation at hand that I'm gonna get to, and I got some numbers for everybody. That I think is going to be really interesting for quite a few people. But like I said, I like truth. I think y'all like truth, whether it's uncomfortable, comfortable, or just downright, yeah, whatever the case may be. But I think everybody loves truth. So I put out a poll. Just want to kind of get an idea of what everybody thinks, how everybody truly thinks, and then being as honest as they can when we ask these questions, these polls and whatnot. Like I said, I got a number of things that I want to speak on. And if y'all have questions also on top of that, you're more than welcome to leave them in the comment section. But like I said, I think everybody who watched this show, I think you guys like truth. I like truth. I mean, that's why we call it Truth TV, right? Haha. So OG Truth. One second, I'm having some issues with this. I can't. Okay, here we go. All right. Yeah, 1 second, fellas, guys. Georgia, Texas boy, aka the troublemaker himself, Rondrell, and everybody who's in the chat, not yet in the chat. Appreciate everybody for joining. And like I said, this is a conversation that I think that needs to be had because, I thought it was interesting Especially going back from last year to previous years with Bijan Robinson. He was the talk of the town. It's like, I think outside of Desmond Ridder, for obvious reasons, both positive and negative. Arthur Smith, both positive and negative. I think all those guys were the talk of the town last year. Especially when you had, Arthur Smith went out of his way to decide that Bijan Robinson was not going to play because of whatever the issue is. He said he had a headache. And it caused a huge controversial stir, not only with the Atlanta Falcons, but the NFL. Because he wasn't on the injury reserve list. Not injury reserve, but he wasn't on the injury list. And the NFL they're very strict when it comes down to those particular things, where they want guys to be able to, they want their players to be, well taken care of and properly taken care of, just in case things may be a concern as far as the head injury is concerned. So I understood why they did what they did with the Atlanta Falcons and end up reprimanding them as far as that is concerned, and Bijan Robinson, and the Falcons Arthur Smith end up getting put in place because of the issue with Bijan Robinson last year. So Bijan Robinson obviously was, a huge talk of the town. You look at his numbers. Like I said, we're gonna get into that, but to kind of give you guys a brief breakdown of what's actually going to be talking about. Like I said, this is the first one. So again, this is a conversation. I told you, it's like we like the uncomfortable conversations, and I would like everybody else to kind of give their honest opinions on everything. Anybody know me? My IG, Facebook, Twitter accounts are open. Now, you guys can come to me and voice whatever displeasure, whatever the case may be. You can hit me up. I'm not untouchable. In fact, I want to be I want to be in the ground. I want to be in the dirt. I want to be in the trenches with everyone else. I'm not like all the other content creators. We're not like all these other content creators where we won't sit down, have a beer with you, won't sit down and actually have a conversation with you outside of our platforms. We literally have these conversations. So we're accessible. You can hit us up any given time. So with all that being said, there was a poll that put out. As you can see on the screen, and if you can't see it, you're kind of busy at the moment. I'm gonna read it for you. And the reason why I'm reading this is because there's a divide within the Atlanta Falcons base. There's a divide. There's a clear divide with fans. There's a clear divide with content creators. And all in all together, there's a clear divide. Let's not try to pretend like there's not a divide. There's a clear divide, and we know why that divide is. Okay? We have several reasons as to why, but we're going to talk about this particular thing because we got several content creators that go out of their way to say that there's no clear divide, but they do everything outside of show everyone, you, myself, every fan, say, all right, there's no clear divide. I don't know what you're talking about. A lot of these things never happen. There's nothing. There's no divide, y'all. OGN. Oh, I'm gonna get to it. Like I said, I'm getting to it. And y'all, when I get to it, you're gonna get to it. So y'all already know this is a straight heat conversation, right? So y'all know what gets when you get this. You get that straight heat from Mad Mike. And like I said, this is what we've been told time and time again. There's no issue. Mike, Maggie, AFN. We love your content. You guys help us out from the very beginning. We love you guys. We enjoy your content. You know, come out to the event and talk to us. Meanwhile, yeah, you access a day before the event or the same day we have an event to invite us to these things. So these are the things that happen on behind the scenes that a lot of you guys don't have, and I wouldn't get to. I'm not gonna show you all that type of stuff, but these are the things that happen behind the scenes that these content creators, the same ones that look just like you and I, they quote unquote love the same team. These are the people that go out their way to tell us there's no issue. Meanwhile, they have every single content creator within the Atlanta Falcons fan base. Not everyone, because there's quite a few of them that don't fit in their quote unquote group, but they don't go they don't go out their way to try to ask these guys on their show and try to come together as an Atlanta Falcons creator and just a fan base for the culture. Because at the end of the day, what we're trying to do, we're trying to bring the Atlanta Falcons fan base up to, we're trying to change the narrative when it comes down to all across the world on how the Atlanta Falcons fans are perceived in the media. You guys know exactly how the media is perceived, right? Well, how are Atlanta Falcons fans? That's the first question I got for y'all. How are Atlanta Falcons fans perceived in the media? That's what I want to know. How are the Atlanta Falcons fans, how are they perceived in the media? Walton, they think we are a joke. As a terrible fan base. Pat Norris says, I think AFN brings a different thought process. Terry Ocean Boy Martin Jr. says they think we are crazy, black, and naive. So this is what we call the truth. So when it comes down to Atlanta Falcons fan base and why the media say the shit that they say about us, it's not because they're picking on us, it's because we doing it to our fucking selves. We are literally doing this shit to ourselves. We're doing all of these things to ourselves, and we're wondering why the media don't have respect for us. John St. Clair, what's going on? Sonya, how you doing? But we're doing this to ourselves. How can we ask for the media for respect, and then we ask 92.9 a game before respect. When the Atlanta Falcons fans, every time something bad or the player that we don't get about whatever Southside, what's going on? Like why when something bad happens, we jump on the you're right, absolutely, we're going to tear this person down. We jump on that bandwagon and say, yeah, fuck this dude. And then wonder why the media is the way the media is. And like I said, I'm getting to it. But this particular topic, as we got more people in the chat, and thank you for joining me, like I said, this is an uncomfortable conversation. Do you think Falcons content creators go out of their way to purposely exclude or ignore Atlanta Falcons Nation? Jay was good. Now, this is you guys' take on this matter. And again, we got content creators, and you guys know exactly who they are, and they know exactly they are probably watching this live right now. They go out their way and say, no, we don't have a problem with these guys. But again, how many times have you seen these guys invite us? Any people. And like, this is not just Atlanta Falcons Nation. Don't get it twisted. We got a lot of Falcon content creators, and we're going to reach out to a few. I actually hit up someone. I think you guys are going to enjoy this particular person. Don't want to give it out too late, but we in the works of bringing another Falcon content creator, because I'm all about, actually bringing the Falcon congregation together out, because we got a lot of cowards that that pretend like they are all for the culture, but they're really not. Love guys like Scott Kennedy. If I ask Scott Kennedy to come on, he has no problem coming on. He goes out of his way to make sure that he engages with all the fans. Scott Kennedy is my dude. Him and Nick do a great job, and have done a great job of building his platforms. So those guys are my dudes, right? You got guys like Atlanta Sports Unlimited with Tom, Dave. You got William Brandon. Like, those guys do a wonderful job of, not only content, but they engage with the people. They show you guys love. Like I said, we got a lot of people. You got a lot of people watch what's good. All honesty and past AFN content, people are no longer a part of the show. Yeah, and it's a lot of people that are no part, but these guys don't want to tell y'all the truth as to the reason why they're no longer here. Every last one of those guys that you see, for the most part, that are no longer a part of it, they decided to leave. Not one of those guys were actually kicked off by AFN crew. Because we believe in having conversations. We believe in actually working and sorting through problems and sitting down and having a conversation. But all one of those guys have one thing in common. They saw AFN as a place where they can get started, where they can get exposure. And once they got exactly what they got, they ran and they never came back. And not only that, because I believe that people, they have their own visions and whatnot, but these people don't even go, you never hear them say a word about AFN ever again. And we go out of our way to make sure that these people are always and have been a strong and integral part of AFN. So when we see polls like this, where we say a lot of people are purposely excluding AFN, and like I said, this is you guys. This is a poll. This is what you guys notice this. So not only are these content creators telling a lie to us behind the scenes, but they're lying to you. These people are lying to you. And a lot of them have seen this lie. A lot of them haven't seen the same success since they left the show. And it's not, and again, it's not about people leaving, because we actually encourage people to grow their own brand even when they're on AFN. This is what we encourage. Anybody that have ever been with AFN, they could tell you that we go out of our way to not only teach you how to build your own brand, but we give you a platform where you can help, build your own personal skills. And Sam and I in the chat, we go at it all the time. So you guys saw me and Ant. You guys saw a lot of our one-on-one debates and on these live shows. And this is what we do on a daily basis. So again, when it comes down to a lot of these content creators, and like I said, we're gonna have this talk. We're gonna have this talk. Because it's and a lot of them, they took our knowledge, they took our help, they took and used us for our platforms, and when they got what they got, they never turned around, and you never hear them mention us ever in anything. And one of the reasons why I say this is something that must be talked about is because we're seeing these types of things right now. Your boy P. Diddy is, guess what? Mucho, what's good? P. Diddy, he been doing this for 30, 40 years. He been doing this for about 20, 30 years. Using people's talents, using that platform, grow a business, quote unquote, see success, and then they turn around and try to pretend like those people are crazy, that they don't know what they're talking about, and he's just making up a bunch of nonsense. He's just making up a bunch of nonsense. Yeah. We see this time and time again, where people have been used for their talent. And this is why your boy Kendrick Lamar is going after Drake, because we see this shit all the time. We see this shit all the fucking time, where people use people in their platform, they use people in their talent, and then they turn around and try to act like you stupid, and they try to act like that, and they ignore, and they duck, and they hide, and they don't want to see you at these games. They don't want to see you out in public. They don't want to acknowledge you on social media. They don't do any of that. So when you guys hear me say this, and you saying to yourself, Mike, man, because this is what a lot of people are probably, I'm gonna say a lot of people, but we probably have a few people, and I'm gonna get to the next comment, because this goes into exactly what I'm talking about. Because we got a lot of young creators, and I'm not just meaning this in age, I'm just talking about people that have talent, but they use these guys. They sell them a bunch of bullshit about other people. And then because you are, quote unquote, on this particular person's show, now you're outcasted because you're a friend with this guy. And this is not what we're about over here. AFN, we've had so many people from the Locked On podcast. Those guys are absolutely brilliant. We've had them on the Heavy Hitters Live channel. We're going to go later on tonight. But we've had so many brilliant minds on. So you guys, time and time again, we've asked Uncle Steve, and I'm gonna say their name. We've asked Uncle Steve to come on. We've asked a Big Low to come on. We've asked a Smitty Sports Machine. We've asked quite a few guys to come on shows. And every last one of those people have done what? Ignored us. They said, yeah, we'll do something one day, and then that one day turns to, I don't think it's a good idea. Pat Norris. I appreciate you, brother. Integrity, go Browns. Hey, man, I'm supporting the Browns except for the quarterback. I'm supporting everything with Cleveland except for the quarterback. But these people go out their way to bring on the everything 92-90 game. You see them constantly bringing on the same people from the Falcoholic. It's the same people over and over and over again. It's the same people on that. You see those guys bring on all the people that's perceived to be quote unquote professional. Y'all see it. You see it for yourself. It's the same people over and over and over again. We've asked all these people to come on, sit down, have a conversation with you, and we can get whatever issue off our chest. But guess what? They lie to y'all and say, these guys have never said anything to me. Then they come and behind closed door, they tell y'all to guess what? They tell us to, you know what, Mike? Don't tell Smitty about our conversation. Don't tell Lowe about our conversation. I don't necessarily really agree with a lot of things that they're saying. Yeah, they tell us to be quiet when they want to have conversations with in private, but when they get on live shows, they do stuff like that. So again, gotta start holding these Falcons content creators accountable for a lot of the shit that they're doing. A lot of these bigger content creators are doing these things to put even more of a bad reputation on Atlanta Falcons fans, because guess what? If Falcons fans can't even get along like the Packers, the Steelers fans, the Ravens fans, so many other football fans and football teams, these guys can get along. They fan base can get along. But guess what? ESPN know the Falcons fan base is divided. Why? Because we got 92-9 a game. We got the Falcoholic and so many other content creators. Not all of them. I'm not saying it's all of them. But y'all know exactly who those people go out their way to make sure that they have that this Atlanta Falcons fan have a bad reputation. They go out of their way to keep Falcons fans divided. They go out of their way to keep the Falcons fans divided. And like you said, this is a conversation we have to have, because we got to hold these content creators accountable. Say, why is it that every time you guys, quote unquote, we say you're gonna give all the best content, we're gonna bring all the best content creators, and we all positive, but when it don't come down to it, you guys ignore even a lot of the smaller content creators. If you don't fit in their idea, they ignore you and try to act like you don't a part of it. And like I said, the biggest problem that I have with this is they steal from people. They literally steal from people and paint you as the bad guy when they've stolen pretty much everything that they have. They've used so many content creators and then try to pretend like they don't know them anymore. So yeah, we gonna get these P. Diddy's out of this, okay? No more Diddy's in the Falcons content creator niche. No more Diddy's. They gotta go. So like I said, this is a conversation that has to be said because, like I said, my brother Dunn, who's been in it with me day one, because we do things a certain way, or we speak differently, or we have different thought processes. And the crazy part about it, everything that they say, we say the exact same thing, but we want to turn that negative into a positive. And most people don't want to turn a negative into a positive. There's really play like absolute horseshit. There's really play like absolute horseshit. But because we don't want to continuously beat down a guy and beat down a player and say, you know what, we need to trade for Lamar Jackson. We want our Falcons fans to know. We want to know. We want you guys to be up to date with a lot of shit. They say you're a bunch of dreams. Oh, we're gonna get everybody. A lot of those was saying the exact same shit over and over and over again. It's a perfect match for Justin Fields. The Falcons and Justin Fields was a perfect match. The Falcons and Lamar Jackson was a perfect fucking match. They sold y'all a bunch of fucking dreams to get a bunch of fucking views, and a lot of you fell for it. Right here at Atlanta Falcons Nation, and quite a few others are part of the Atlanta Falcons Nation, Atlanta Falcons niche. They told you this shit is not gonna happen, but they sold y'all wet ass dreams, and the shit end up happening. The motherfucker end up in Pittsburgh. Now he up answering questions about whether or not he want to be a goddamn kick returner or not. Motherfuckers over there getting hot. They getting hot and bothered because he up here throwing a deep ball to Van Jefferson in fucking practice. But they want y'all to believe. They want y'all to believe that AFN, these guys are unreasonable. These guys haven't been taught by guys like we've actually been taught and been mentored by guys like Terrence Mathis. These are what we've been done. We've been taught and we've been mentored by these guys. A lot of these guys, the T.J. Pollard, that we see that I almost every other Saturday, I feel in for them on Saturdays on the Saturday show. The Pigskin and Jock, and shout out to that show. So we've been taught by guys who's actually played the fucking game. Guys like Chuck Smith, these guys have taught us certain things. They taught me how to conduct an interview properly. They told me how to prepare myself properly for shows. They told me about that. They told me about like guys like Chuck Smith. These guys are told, these guys are taught and sat down with us for hours on end and had conversations with these guys about how the Atlanta Falcons and how the NFL really works, and the shit that y'all really don't know, how it really goes down, what really goes down behind these scenes with these owners and front office guys and these players. They tell us these type of things. But we continuously follow all these media tactics. Oh, who's going to, if the Falcons going to trade for this guy? And there's no shot at Chat Sports, but because I watch a lot of their stuff, but it's all propaganda. They selling y'all propaganda. They don't want people to be informed. They want you to sit up here and listen to a bunch of bullshit every fucking day. If the Falcons can trade for that the Falcons can trade for this guy, or because this guy got traded, or because this guy's a free agent, can the Atlanta Falcons sign him? Knowing damn well it ain't gonna be possible. They say y'all a bunch of damn bullshit, knowing damn well it's not gonna happen just to get viewed. I stopped listening to Mike when he was calling Chuck Smith all kinds of bitches. No, me and Chuck actually had I did an interview with Chuck Smith, sir. See, here these fuckboys coming here talking that shit. Me and Chuck actually, we sat down and we talked it out like men, sir. So if you want to go watch the live show, the live interview with Chuck and I, we actually hashed that out live. On live, okay? We hashed that out live so everybody can see it. So if you want to go see it for yourself, yeah. I said what I said about Chuck, and like a man that Chuck is, he came on our show. He didn't run because we have a difference of opinion. Chuck introduced me to guys like Chuck, guys like Ovi McHaley, Chris Draft, all these guys. We hashed it out like men because we had a disagreement. And he agreed on live show. And what I said about Chuck Smith, I said, Chuck Smith acting like a bitch. All right. Don't know the exact words I said, but to kind of paraphrase it, it was me saying that Chuck Smith was being a hypocrite about then Vic Beasley. And then he came on that exact same show and said, yeah, I have been a hypocrite, but this is because I believe in Vic Beasley, but it was a deeper issue than that I didn't know. So I learned a valuable lesson listening to Chuck Smith that we all know now, as it came out, that Dan Quinn barred all the Atlanta Falcons former players, a lot of former players, to not even talk to his current players. So I did not know that as a content creator, as a fan. So this is why, for me personally, I'm always slow. And I'm always looking to get the truth behind things before I speak on things. Because just like this, early in my career, I made that same mistake. I didn't get the whole truth out of things, and I started running my damn mouth about something that I did not know the complete truth about it. So that's why Chuck Smith was upset. This is why he had the opinion. So this is the reason why you got to get the truth behind everything, because you'll make a mistake just like me. But unlike you motherfuckers, I actually sat down with the man, and Chuck Smith and I sat down. Banana boat Falcons never trade or get nobody because they like building for the future. And that's the thing too. Like, it's all about development, man. It's like you can spend money and trade for this guy, but the more that you spend money in free agency and the more that you trade for guys, you're going to end up like the Saints right now. Okay? You're going to end up like the Saints. And like I said, Dunn, he said that shouts out to the Buffalo Fanatics, the Texans fan. Like, we got the Texans people. We had so many other different content creators on our shows, but only in Atlanta, with this Atlanta Falcons fan base, with these bigger content creators, they are one that ignore a lot, not only us, but they ignore a lot of people that want to sit down and have real conversations about that, and they're not just trying to get you to click their subscribe button and get views from you. They want to actually have a conversation and debate, a football debate. We actually and we invite people to come on, like this guy right here, and Dave, who went out of his way, like a little bitch that he is. He goes from channel to channel. Okay, so if y'all see a guy with 4 letters, no picture, no picture on his profile. See, it's cowards like this is why Atlanta Falcons fans have issues. It's because they go from channel to channel, starting mess and keeping up bullshit, and then when you ask to come on to clear up an issue, the bitches start running away. And this guy say, all right, I voted. And like I said, I don't run away from the controversy. Motherfucker say something about me, I'm a read it exactly. So Dave said, I voted yes because most of you guys bring this on yourself. You know what I don't understand about you guys. You have great material and was the force behind creating a women's forum, but yet you always seem to be worried about being the villain. You guys are too good for this. You hear this? You hear this? Okay? Y'all choose to be divisive and combative. See, this is where people, when they have a problem with you, they don't want to sit down and talk to you. How can you be combative if you don't want to sit down and have a conversation? You have a one-sided issue. Is that you've chosen to think that we have been combative. We can't be combative if we the only one in the room talking. How can you be combative if you're the only one in the niche that's willing to sit down and have a conversation? It's not a conversation if you guys are running away. It's because you know, and a lot of these content creators know that they cannot sit down and actually have a conversation on live and behind the scenes and talk to us. It's not combative if you're not here. How is it combative if you're not here? That's what I want to know. Andrew G, what's good? We embrace the villain role and choose to be divisive. And what have we ever stated that was divisive? That's what I really want to know. Because we're here to get answers. What has AFN and the Unholy Alliance, what have we done to divide when we go out our way to invite these people on? And these guys, I have these guys' phone numbers, by the way. So they can call me at any given time. So what has AFN ever been divisive about? Yeah, come on, people. I would love to hear some answers before I get to this Bijan Robinson tape. Where has AFN ever been divisive about? Because you can't be divisive if there's nobody talking. The problem is exactly what K-Style said. Is that everybody wants to have an opinion, but no one wants their opinion debated. Nobody wants their opinion to be broken apart. Let's just keep it real. Dissect it. They don't want their opinion to be. And if that's who you are, that's who you are. But don't say that we are divisive if you guys not willing, even you want to just say things. And these are the things that this for example. Okay, this is an example. You guys probably remember this for yourself. But You want to have, we had a conversation. And this is where I say the hypocrisy when it comes down to a lot of these Falcons fans and a lot of these content creators is they want to go on, they want to do live shows and critique the living shit out of a Stephen A. Smith. They want to call Stephen A. Smith and all these guys dumb. They want to go and call Stephen A. Smith and all these guys soft, dumb, this stupid Skip Bayless dumb, and they want to call Shannon Sharp dumb. They want to call all these guys dumb on the live show. They want to do it on their show. They want to break their opinions down. They want to break guys like Gilbert Arenas. They want to break guys down like Kwame Brown, who's doing an excellent job. They want to break these guys' opinions down, but when you turn around and break their opinion down, you get called a bitch on live air. Because I said trading for Lamar Jackson is one of the dumbest things the Atlanta Falcons could ever fucking do. Is trading for Lamar Jackson, and it will not happen. You want to critique Shannon Sharp. You want to critique Skip Bayless. You want to critique and call Draymond Green and all these guys stupid and ignorant, and he's a thug and all this type of shit. But as soon as somebody critique your content, you got a problem. You call them a bitch. You call these guys bitches when they say something that you don't like, but as soon as a Mad Mike or AFN or Recondo or Wolf or whoever, a lot of these guys break your content down, you got a problem, and they bitches because they said something about your opinion. Why you guys want to break down to Aaron Freeman? Locked On Falcons. Y'all want to break him down and call him stupid and all this. He's a fucking moron, all this type of shit. But as soon as somebody break you down, you want to act like a little bitch and run and call and you know, try to quote unquote outlaw and disappear from people. They don't like their opinions to be challenged. They don't like it. You get called a bitch for critiquing a football point. They take it personal when you're talking about a football point. All of these guys, when you look at their show, all these guys have the exact same thoughts. Nobody challenges each other. Nobody has a conversation. Everybody agree with everything that everybody says. So, question, Falcons fans. Is Atlanta Falcons Nation, Mad Mike Sports, Six Man K Styles, Jew Talk Sports, are we divisive, or do we want to challenge people to think differently? Because what you perceive to be divisive, we saying we're challenging people to think differently. To not just only look at it this way, but look at it this way and this way and this way. This is why Coach Unchained has a great show, and y'all gotta watch Coach on Fridays and Saturdays. He does a great job of giving you a number of takes and scenarios so you won't be caught off guard. AFN challenges people to think differently. So they go to guys like Smitty, Lowe, and all those guys. And like I said, they do a great job for what they do. But they don't challenge people to think. They challenge you to think about it one way. And it's a hard yes or no. It's a hard yes. This is where it's going to be, or it's going to be like this. AFN, what we do over here, we challenge people. We challenge ourselves to think in a multitude of ways. So, again, what has AFN ever done to say that we are quote unquote divisive? Because we haven't seen any of these guys on this show to sit down and say, all right, let's talk about this. Challenging to opinion, but we typically all individually know, yes, man, that's for sure. So Like I said before, it's all about challenging. People perceive you challenging their opinions to be divisive or it's negative. And quite honestly, when you're wrong, you're just wrong. When it's stupid, it's just stupid. We got way too many ad kisses in the world today. And this is why guys like Diddy and Drake get away with every fucking thing, is because everybody want to kiss ass and everybody want to just be friendly. Oh, I don't want to upset my friend. If your friend doing some dumb ass shit, he's just doing some dumb ass shit. If your friend go out there and get himself in some bullshit that you know is gonna lead to him or her getting hurt, would you not say, hey bro, this is some dumb ass shit you thinking about right now? Or will you just say, I mean, it's dumb, but if you want to do what you want to do, you can do what you want to do. About whatever. Nah, I'm going to check my homie out of love for him. So that's what we do. I have this saying with AFN, I always say, what you not going to do, you're not going to embarrass the brand. I'm going to put the brand awareness and ethics over everything. Because guess what? If I say some crazy, outlandish stuff, because I said it, it's going to affect Dunn, it's going to affect Sam, it's going to affect Chauncey, it's going to affect Miss Maggie, it's going to affect everybody. So I'm not going to allow some nonsense to happen on AFN's watch because I'm in my feelings about something. No, I'm going to do the right thing and quote unquote check your homie. So like I said before, notice as a conversation a lot of people are probably looking at, but this is the exact same fucking reason why motherfuckers like Diddy is getting away with shit, because we got all these motherfuckers in high places. They just trying to kiss ass to get the bag. And they try to use people who actually want to help people and try to act like they don't know nothing about you. And then they said out of court because that person that you used them for, they said out of court and say, yeah, that person just money hungry. When in actuality, you stole his whole catalog, and because you have a big name and a big presence in said genre, nobody's going to believe that person who's got used. This shit happens all the fucking time when we seeing this shit right now. And this is why motherfuckers like J. Cole, and this is why motherfuckers like Kendrick Lamar is going at these bitch niggas and these bitches like Diddy. It's because they've been using and destroying people's images and people's likeness and their talent for fucking years for self-preservation, and that shit gotta fucking stop. You not gonna continue to do this for AFN, and you not gonna use my name for you to get come up without me seeing it, because when we see you, we gonna have that conversation. If a motherfucker did you like that, you motherfuckers will feel the exact same way that AFN is done. Put out absolute lies about the entire crew, and then, oh Mike, you should just get over it. Oh Dunn, you should just get over it. When you use people after people after people after people, and then wondering why ladies like Cassie don't want to come to the forefront, because guess what? Y'all ain't gonna fucking believe her. You gonna say, oh, she's just a hoe. Oh, she's just trying to get her money. She's just trying to get Diddy money. Oh, she's just a gold digging bitch. Or like motherfucking Craig Mack. A guy like Craig Mack. Craig Mack just trying to sue somebody because he ain't high. We see this shit all the time. We see this shit all the fucking time. We see so many people have been used and abused by a lot of these people in bigger places, and then they turn around and nobody believe them because guess what? The bigger corporation got a ton of people that's around that they can keep all that shit quiet. Because guess what? People are gonna love what they got to say, and they love the platform because they entertaining me. Meaning why they destroying and stealing from everybody around them. So if you guys got some questions, I want to speak on this Bijan Robinson thing too. Is because this is actually tying into that. So one of the things that I said in this particular this season, I've always said that the answer to the Atlanta Falcons, if the Falcons want to get back to the Super Bowl, I said one thing. That the passing game, if we're going to get to the Super Bowl, guess what's going to happen? If we want to win the Super Bowl, Kyle Pitts is going to be a major part in what we're doing. Because I think when you look at a lot of Falcons, just like the Falcons fans, and the reason why I chose this topic is because everybody forgot about Bijan Robinson. Everybody forgot about Bijan Robinson. Nobody's talking about Bijan Robinson. Everybody's talking about Kirk Cousins for good reason. Everybody talking about Michael Penix for good reason. But we just act like Bijan Robinson not even a part of the damn team anymore. Motherfuckers are going out of their way to talk about a motherfucker that never going to see the field. For the most part, Michael Penix ain't seeing no goddamn field for the next 2 years. But we are so fucking infatuated with a fucking quarterback, with the quarterback position. We haven't even talked about Bijan Robinson having 1,200 yards in total fucking yards. Tyler Algier rushed for 600 yards. 680 yards, the same thing for Bijan Robinson. These guys, these two players combined for over 1,500 yards, 8+ touchdowns between those two guys. Between those two players, Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier, both of those guys combined from over 1,500 yards total, both rushing and passing. And this is the reason why I say, if you look at this Atlanta Falcons offense, if Kyle Pitts returns to form, this team is going to be fucking disgusting. Why do I say that? Because this is some interesting numbers that I looked up also. Anybody want to know? Anybody want to know what the Minnesota Vikings rushing offense was last year? Anybody know what they ranked as an offense last year? As far as the rushing is concerned, rushing yards. No, Bijan wasn't forced in a lot of situations. That was just badly designed, poorly designed. There's a difference between forcing and bad design. Bad designs give the appearance of it actually being forced. Those are just bad spacing, and this is why spacing is very important. Because when you look at a lot of teams, nobody say that, all right, Minnesota Vikings are forcing the ball to Tyreek Hill. I mean, he's fucking Tyreek Hill. He's supposed to be getting the damn ball. The fuck we talking about? Why would I not give the ball to Bijan Robinson? That's not forcing the play. When a play is just badly designed, it gives the appearance of it being forced. Look, that's what you're supposed to do. You get that bitch to Steph Curry. You get that bitch to Kobe. You get that bitch to Mike. You get that bitch to Ant-Man. You get that bitch to Luka. The fuck we talking about is forced. The problem is when your spacing is bad and the team around you isn't living up, and the coaches aren't putting these guys in the best position to succeed. So the thing with Bijan Robinson, he wasn't forced. It was just terribly designed, horrendously designed. So it gives the appearance of it being forced. Why? Because you got the players on the defensive side, they know exactly where he's going to be. A lot of people know that Julio Jones is going to get the damn ball. Ain't no fucking secret that when Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Tony Gonzalez on the fucking field, you know one of them motherfuckers is going to get the ball. You know when you goddamn, when you have a good God, running back, Michael Turner. When you got a Michael Turner in the backfield, we know Michael Turner gonna get the goddamn ball. We know we gonna feed the fucking monster 30, 40 times a game. We knew we was gonna get that bitch to Jamal Anderson. And guess what? They still couldn't stop it. We knew every fucking game that who gonna get the ball for Tennessee. Derrick fucking Henry, but you still couldn't stop it. So it's not a matter of it's forcing, it's having to design the play properly with proper spacing, with the proper call, mixing up a lot of things. The Falcons did a poor job of mixing up the passing game and the running game together. And that's why when you, in certain situations, we only had one thing to do because Kyle Pitts wasn't an option because quarterback couldn't get the ball to him the right way. So if you don't have the right quarterback to be able to get the ball to Kyle Pitts in the proper way, Bijan Robinson is the easy guy. It's easy if it's easier to get to Bijan Robinson if you can't get the ball to Kyle Pitts. And this is the reason why I say if Kyle Pitts returns for him, if they can find a way to return for him, especially with a quarterback like Kirk Cousins. If Kirk Cousins can get the ball to Kyle Pitts in key situations, Bijan Robinson is going to have a disgusting year. Tyler Allgeier is going to have a disgusting year. Why? It's because that guy, Kirk Cousins, knows how to get his playmakers the ball, his wide receivers the ball. And I say this dude on pace for throwing 5,000 fucking yards in 8 games. He passed the ball for 2,300 yards. 18 touchdowns in 8 games. Kirk Cousins last year. So imagine a Kirk Cousins, what he can do with an offensive rushing game. Okay, at that time and last year, these guys were 29th in rushing. The Minnesota Vikings they were ranked 29th overall in rushing. Tim Washington says Falcons say they want to run the ball, but because their offensive line, they have to throw. No, that's not true. Falcons have one of the best offensive line. I don't know where people, and this is another thing too. The Falcons are a top 5 offensive line, both in passing. They are top 10. I think they is 6th I think they ranked 6th or 7th in passing pass protection, and then I think they top 5 in rushing. So they are top 5 offensive line in the entire league. But for whatever reason, people keep throwing out this narrative that the Falcons have a bad offensive line. It's not true at all. The numbers don't even say that's not true. And this is what I mean when we have these content creators. They keep passing off this narrative that guys like Drew Dahlman is bad. You got guys like you saying that that Caleb McGarry is bad. And in actuality, you look at this guy, Caleb McGarry is a top 15 tackle in the league. He's a top 15. I think he's 15 to 16. But he's a top 20 tackle in the league. And we talking about starters. He's one of the better right tackles in the league. And we have people, because of how he started his career, they can't get over the negative part, and they keep saying that this guy sucks. It's not true at all. The Falcons have one of the better offenses in the entire league. You can look at the PFF numbers, or you can look at the numbers in general. Drew Dahlman I think he gave up 1 sack last year. And I think he was like the only guy. He was the only center that did that. But again, we have these content creators that keep passing this narrative. They put all these PFF numbers saying, oh, the Falcons, oh, he just let Kyle Pitts. We don't know what the calls were. And this is why you got to watch Coach Unchained show. He's a coach. He's a real football coach. We don't know what the calls were. We don't know if the tight end was supposed to chip. We don't know if the running back is supposed to chip. And we just assuming because guy just went past Jake Matthews, or this guy went past Caleb McGarry, that Caleb McGarry almost gave up a sack. And the crazy part about it is they're saying he almost gave up a sack. Not that he gave up a lot of sack, but he almost, because we see guys running past, he's saying he almost gave up a sack. We don't know if the quarterback was supposed to step up in the pocket. And oftentimes we saw that last year, and this is another aspect of being a quarterback that you have to know when to step the fuck up, because a lot of times you see a guy like Tom Brady and Matt Ryan, they step up in the pocket to escape those edge rushers coming around the corner. That's how you can help your tackles out. And this is why you pay a guy like Kirk Cousins $40 million. This is why you pay a guy like Kirk Cousins $40 million, because he can see a lot of these protections and these blitzes coming before it even happens. So what he do? He make a call, he audibles, he step up in the pocket, he get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker. Kirk Cousins is one of the best quarterbacks in the league and throwing the ball under about 3.5 seconds. He's one of the better quarterbacks at getting the ball out of his hands quick. Kirk Cousins does not he doesn't hold on to the ball. So if you got a offensive line, he helps in pass protection because he get rid of the ball. So, like I said, there's a lot of misinformation out there when it comes down to this Atlanta Falcons team. And again, I don't know where, and OG Sam, when you all get done here, slide over to the sports team. He's gonna go live right after I'm done. So head over to Mad Mike Network. All right, we almost at 1,500. So thanks to OG Sam, OG Chauncey, Big Ant True. All right, all the fellas that help the second channel. That's the second channel, for Mad Mike Sports, the Mad Mike Network. So Mad Mike Network, that's where you get a lot of content, not only Falcons but Hawk stuff. We'll go with some brave things. So yeah, we doing some good things over there. But there's a lot of things when it comes down to it, it's just not true when it comes down to this offensive line. This offensive line is one of the best in the league. And PFF, it's not something that I like. I hold too much merit, but that's what the NFL uses to rank offenses, and PFF has ranked the Atlanta Falcons as a top 10 offensive line, top 5 offensive line. So last year we had Bijan rush for 214 attempts, 976 yards, 4 touchdowns. Tyler Algier had 186 attempts, 683 yards. And again, the bottom, and appreciate the $5 for OG Sam. And this was last year, and this is why I say we get that passing game locked with Kirk Cousins and Kyle Pitts, Drake London. This team is going to be, look, this is going to be a scary team. You have if you get a Kirk Cousins, a healthy Kirk Cousins, I can promise you this is a playoff team. If you have a healthy Kirk Cousins, this is a playoff team. If you have Kirk Cousins healthy, you have Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier together, and those guys are healthy, this is a playoff team. I can promise you that, because it's almost identical. It's almost identical for 2016. This team is going to be dangerous, people. So let's stop focusing on all the negativity and all the stuff that could go bad and has went bad. Oh, this guy's a bad player. Look, this is a different team. This is a new year. We get Kyle Pitts back to where we know where he can be. This is a dangerous team. If Drake London continues to improve as a wide receiver, and he has a quarterback, he has a leader, he has a guy that knows how to get him the ball where and when he likes it. So you have that, guys. This is going to be a scary team, people. So all these, again, all these content creators and all these people that's throwing out all this nonsense about Drake, about Caleb McGarry and the Falcons offensive line being poor, it's not true at all. There's nothing in this Atlanta Falcons offense to say they have a terrible offensive line. These guys don't get paid. All right, look, this is why I say anything about Caleb McGarry is fucking bullshit. Caleb McGarry took less money to even come to Atlanta. Let me say that again. Caleb McGarry took less money to come back to Atlanta. This dude almost got $90 million at right tackle, but we still got these fucking stupid ass content creators that keep saying, going out of their way to say the Falcons, he sucks. Why the hell everybody else want to pay him $90 million if he sucks? No, that's not. Look. We talking about overall, okay? And pass protection, this is why you can't say just pass protection, the Falcons are suck. Let me say this again, because again, this went over a lot of people's head again. So you can tell me all this, and the Falcons top 20. The Falcons were at top 20s because, again, when you have a quarterback that understands protection, who knows how to get the ball out of their hands fast and quickly and get them into the right look, okay, it helps the offensive line. So we can sit up here and say that this guy bad or this guy's bad, but you got to take into account the quarterback may have held the ball too long. How many times this season did we see Taylor Heineke and Desmond Ridder hold the ball on too long? For longer than 4 seconds. How many times did we see that this year? That we saw that Desmond Ridder, for whatever reason, he's just standing in the pocket, and not getting rid of the ball. How many times have we seen it? How many times have we seen that? No. I don't want to hear that bullshit you talking about, whatever. Answer the fucking question. Answer the goddamn question. Don't beat around the damn bush. Cause we gonna have a conversation. Just because you feel some way don't mean it's true. We talking about facts and what actually happened. How many times during a game this year that we saw Desmond Ridder not getting rid of the ball? He's holding on to the ball, and he ended up getting sacked. How many times did we see that? I got you, Ezra. Come on. You was typing 15 miles an hour. Again, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You just answered the question. You said a good bit. It's more than a good bit. Stop bullshitting. It was more than a good bit. I can actually take you through the whole process and show you where he should have got rid of the ball. The quarterback should always get the ball out of his hands under 3 seconds. A quarterback should not hold on to the ball. He should make a decision on where he needs to get the ball under 3 seconds. Every quarterback. So when you see a quarterback that holds the ball for anything longer than 3 seconds, two things happen. He either getting sacked or he got exit protection. And oftentimes when you get exit protection like that, or it's either good coverage or guys are just not getting open. So we're not gonna sit up here and just say, all right, all because the Falcons, their pass block was ranked top 20. We got to take into account that we don't know the calls. We don't know if Desmond Ridder he held the ball on too long. We don't know if a guy whiffed on the block. We don't know what the call was. All these types of things. So you can't just blame the offensive line, because he got sacked or this guy went past him or blew past him and say, yep, it's his fault. Because a lot of times, if the quarterback end up getting sacked, you got to look at everything. And again, that goes right back. You see how you see now you thinking. You said a lot of our wide receivers weren't getting open. You see what I'm talking about now? So how can a guy like Caleb McGarry suck, or he's bad, or the Atlanta Falcons passing game be bad if we have wide receivers that can't get open? You see? See, these are the things about football you have to have conversation, because the numbers don't always tell you the truth. And John, McGarry's pass per improved a lot last year. When the quarterback is indecisive, it puts more pressure on the offensive line. And this is what we're talking about. We got to get behind the truth of every aspect of this team, because when you don't have good wide receivers, this is why the Atlanta Falcons went out and signed a guy like Jeberaeel Mooney, brought in a guy like Rondale Moore. They traded for him, a speed guy. You brought in a guy like Casey Washington. You drafted him. These guys could get open. So when you have wide receivers that could get open, it helps not only the offensive line, but it helps the quarterback. The quarterback doesn't have to hold the ball for 4-5 seconds. So a lot of times we be looking at Caleb McGarry and say, oh, Caleb McGarry just gave up a sack. Well, is anybody open? Is a wide receiver open? I think we all can say, as Falcons fan, how many times have we seen one guy open, and that was the two guys open? Drake London, Kyle Pitts. If those two went open, nobody else was open. And then we ended up getting sacked. And then, all right, everybody blame Kyle, or everybody blame Caleb McGarry because quarterback gets sacked. So when you're talking about football, you got to look at every aspect of football. You can't just look at one guy, and this is why you got coaches to evaluate at the end of the year and see what really happened. And John Edenfield, I really need to quit, man. The Falcons quit on Desmond Ridder and quit on our coach. They did. They quit on him. You know, I just don't think that they. I think it was a couple of things, but I don't think they believed in what Arthur was preaching, especially with the passing game. Like, the only thing that he was really good at, as far as that is concerned, is that, like, the Falcons running game was pretty good, and to a certain extent, we kind of abandoned what we truly are with running game. So you had guys like Kyle Pitts. When Kyle Pitts isn't getting his targets in the red zone and getting touchdown, guys, they start losing hope. And I think the Falcons players, especially the wide receivers and Kyle Pitts, these guys lost hope. They quit on them. So absolutely, I believe that. So this is why you have to have a variety of weapons on. This is why you have to have a variety of weapons and not the same type of wide receivers. If you look at the Atlanta Falcons offense under Arthur Smith, let me ask y'all this question too. If you look at his wide receiver position, what was his type of wide receiver that he had on the team? And with this new offense, they should do better job scheming wide receivers open. It was how Puka Nakua last year, route running concepts. Southside says big, tall, and jump ball guys. Andrew G said it's sad that fans would come in here and talk about players suck and they're a liability, yet they are professionals and they are bums. I mean, the thing is, Andrew, like, everybody can be right to a certain extent, but a lot of the points that people are saying, I mean, is look, for example, you just saying everybody just say, oh, everybody just suck. We don't want to hold people accountable. Well, that's not necessarily the case. Yeah, they are professionals, but so are the coaches. If the coaches aren't doing a good job of scheming players can't be the best that they could be. As a leader, I got to be able to put this guy in a position. For example, if I know that Kyle Pitts is not 100% and he can't get up to top speed consistently, why am I continuously running streak routes, 9 routes, seam routes with him? We know that he can't do that. We know that he's having trouble with that. We had 2 guys on this offense with Van Jefferson and Scotty Miller, but we kept using a guy like Kyle Pitts, a guy to clear out routes. You see what I'm saying? So we can sit up here and talk about these guys are professionals, but so these coaches are professionals too. So it goes hand in hand. We can't just say, all right, oh, the players are fair. We need to start making excuses for these players. No. If that's the case, well, these coaches need to be held fucking accountable too for putting some bullshit ass scheme together. So we can't just point at the player and say bad player, bad player. We need to say point the finger at bad player, bad owner, bad front office, bad coach. Everybody need to take a hand in what the issue was. And that's the thing with a lot of people. When people decide that they just don't like Arthur Smith or they don't like a Kyle Pitts, they just gonna point the finger solely at that instead of looking at everything as a collective. And this is what great coaches do. They look at things in a collective and say, all right, Is Kyle Pitts hurt? Was he hurt? All right, we're going to give him another chance because I feel like he was hurt last year. And another thing with Kyle Pitts, if Kyle Pitts a guy that's going to go out and, and motivate himself, maybe I need to bring in a guy like Raheem Moore to, just light a fire under his ass and I'm going to see what happens. It's like, these are the things that you have to take into account and just say, all right, I just give up because it didn't work the first time. So we're going to see this year if Kyle Pitts really is that. If he really is that guy, you're going to see two things. We brought in the quarterback. We brought in two quarterbacks with Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix. We improved the wide receiving core, so he got more people around him that can help him get open. And two, we brought in offensive guys like Zach Robinson, who's very creative in the pass game. So these are the things you do when you look at and say, all right, Kyle Pitts, I know this guy has the potential, and I know he didn't play well last year, but we got to look at every aspect. Because when you look at what the Falcons did, again, the Falcons got him at the proper. They wasn't using Van Jefferson properly. I seen Van Jefferson out here running. Look, Van Jefferson, I seen him multiple times on that same right side of the goddamn field out here blocking for Bijan Robinson. This dude's 6 feet, 180 pounds, but he blocking for Bijan Robinson. And then we saying, well, they professional, they need to be. No, these coaches need to be able to put these guys in a position where they can succeed. So a lot of that stuff that we saying, it sound good, it sound all cute, but everybody has to take account into what happens in its entirety and stop blaming just one guy. It wasn't always Desmond Ridder fault. It wasn't always Caleb McGear fault. It wasn't always Kyle Pitts' job for being hurt. If he was hurt, if you knew he was hurt, he shouldn't have been in certain situations. You shouldn't have put him as a guy that's out here running street routes when you know his damn knee is fucked up. These are the things that you have to take into consideration. If there is the case, make the necessary adjustment if he isn't 100%. Don't put him in a position and you know he's hurt, trainer, coordinator, all of this type of shit. So everybody got to take accountability for what went wrong with Kyle Pitts, what went wrong with Bijan Robinson, where a lot of defenses knew exactly where he was going to be when he was going to be. It's not Bijan Robinson's fault completely. It's everybody's fault. So we had to go back to the table, figure out what happened, and figure out how. If it doesn't change this year, we know that Bijan Robinson may not be that dude, or Kyle Pitts may not be that dude, so we got to get rid of him. And that's what happened with Arthur Smith. He didn't make the necessary change. It wasn't getting better. People lost hope in him. People lost faith in him. So they said, get the hell out of here. I don't like second guessing coaches, but Dave Ragone play calling was a head scratcher. And again, it was a lot of stuff. I just think, see, one thing about Arthur Smith, he's not a guy that's like, he did come in the league as a passing game coordinator. He came in as a tight end, offensive line, and run game coordinator. So he's completely different. So what he needed was to bring in a guy who was good. He specializes in that. And that's something that Dave Ragone has never specialized in it. So it was perplexing to me from the very beginning why Dave Ragone was even the offensive coordinator. He never did anything good. He was never any good. He got a job because he's somebody's buddy. Dave Ragone got a job because he's everybody's buddy. As a fan, how you doing? Big, long, no separation. Those are the types of wide receivers that he enjoyed. But if you're gonna have a type of wide receiver, you gotta have these small, you gotta have fast guys. You gotta have guys like Julio Jones that's balanced. They got speed and power. Like, you gotta have a variety of weapons. You can't have the same Hey, oh man, why it's not working? Everybody do the same thing well. You gotta have blockers, you gotta have receivers, you gotta have power backs, you gotta have tight ends that are balanced, that can do what Tony Gonzalez, and he can block, he can catch the ball. He's all of that. Red zone target. You gotta have a variety of weapons, and the Falcons did not have a variety of weapons last year, and they was a flawed team. It was a flawed offense. That's the problem with the Atlanta Falcons. So it wasn't just solely Kyle Pitts. It wasn't solely Drake. It wasn't solely they were a flawed football team. They had a flawed roster, and this is why you went out and got a guy like Jeberaeel Mooney. Different types of receivers. So OG Sam is about to go live in a bit. You guys can check the community tab here at Mad Mike Sports, but go to Mad Mike Network. OG Sam is going to go live with the sports tee. I appreciate everybody. Like I said, we have these long, drawn out conversations. This is for everybody. All right, John Edenfield, so many other people that have joined the live chat today. I truly appreciate it. Like I said, man, we have uncomfortable conversations. And like I said before, we got to start holding these content creators liable for being straight up liars and saying there's no divide, because there's a clear divide, and these people do not want to have conversations. They want to continue to lie to y'all and say there's not an issue when there's clearly an issue. We want to resolve the issues at AFN, and if you don't want to, we're not gonna force you, but fuck it. We're going to keep speaking our mind, and we're going to keep talking. We're going to keep speaking on this shit, and we're going to keep on doing exactly what we're doing. We're going to critique their fucking point. We're going to critique your points, and y'all going to critique the shit out of ours like y'all always do. But we welcome it. We welcome us being critiqued. We welcome it. So, again, we're going to have a show. We definitely going to have more shows where we have people, especially during season. When we do our live shows, we're going to have Falcons fans, NFL fans. You guys can come on, speak your piece, like we do for our post-game shows, to kind of give your take on what happened when the Falcons win or loss, or any other team around the league that you interested in and you interested in seeing. We're going to have that on the heavy hitters. But like I said, man, head over to Mad Mike Network. Continue to support your boys and hit that subscribe button on all Atlanta Falcons content creators, okay? Every last one of them. I want everybody to see and hear the truth. So when you hear us say something over there, you can make the judgment for yourself. What's real and what isn't real, and what's a lie and who's telling a lie. I want you guys to see it for yourself. So please hit that subscribe button on every content creator that is Atlanta Falcons. If they got that Falcon logo and they rock that shit, hit that subscribe button. All right, that's all I got to say about that, John Edenfield, about whatever. All love, GH. So many other people, 330. So many other people. Like I said, it's all nothing but love. But what we do over here, we don't hold back on bullshit. If we speak it, if we see it, we speak it, and we talk about it. So you want to come on and have a conversation with us? Hit me up. Mad Mike Sports, Atlanta Falcons Nation, anywhere. The Heavy Hitters Live channel, the Don's Favor, OGN. Y'all can find us anywhere. We are not hard to find. We are here to talk to you, the Falcons fan. We are Falcons fans. We here to have a conversation. We are touchable. We are accessible, unlike them. Okay? Holler at your player. That's all I got to say about that. John Edenfield, I appreciate everybody for joining us on my